Hello students, welcome back to our channel. Students, in this video we are going to study chapter 4 of class 12th mathematics, and this chapter is determinants. Let's start. What are determinants? Suppose we have a matrix of suppose order 2 by 2. If you want to study this chapter, the third chapter, that is matrices, should be very clear to you, because both these chapters are connected. The concepts that we are going to study in this chapter are related to the concepts of chapter 3. So if you do not know this chapter, you will face some difficulty in understanding these concepts. So I suggest you first you study chapter 3. We have a one shot video of chapter 3 also, then you can watch this lecture. So let's start. Suppose we have a matrix of order 2 by 2, 2, 4, minus 1 and 2, right? So if we write it like this, not using this square bracket but using straight lines, then this matrix becomes something which is called determinant of the matrix, and it is represented by A between two straight lines. So this is the matrix and this is the determinant of the matrix. Matrix is simply a collection of rows and columns, and matrix does not have any particular value, but determinant, though it is written in the form of rows and columns, but it has a specific value, and we have to find that value by expanding the determinant. Matrix in itself is important when it is written in this form, but determinant is only written in this form. There is a specific value which comes after expanding this determinant, and that value is important to us. So we will learn here how to expand the determinants. So every matrix, every square matrix, not every matrix, every square matrix has a determinant value, and we are going to find that determinant value. But why determinant values are important, we will study later in the same video. So let's first learn how to expand a determinant. So here we have a determinant of order 2 by 2, and this is also a determinant of order 2 by 2. First we will learn how to expand determinant of order 2 by 2. So let's expand this. To expand a determinant of order 2 by 2, we will simply multiply these two elements and these two elements, and we will subtract this product from this product, right? We all know that this is the main body diagonal. So multiply the elements of the main body diagonal, that is 2 into 2, and subtract this product, the product of the elements on other diagonal. So this will be the determinant value of this. Suppose let's call it A. So this is 2 into 2, 4, minus 4. So 4 minus 4, 4 minus 4, it becomes 4 plus 4. So the answer is 8. So we will say that the determinant value of this is 8. Let's expand this one. X into X. Product of these two minus product of these two. So X into X, X into X minus X minus 1 into X plus 1. So X into X is what? X into X is X square minus, here we can use identity of A minus B into A plus B, which is A square minus B square. So this becomes X square minus 1 ka square, which is 1. So this becomes X square minus 1. So it is X square minus X square plus 1. So answer is 1. So determinant value of this is 1. So here, this is how you can expand the determinants of 2 by 2 matrices. Now let's learn how we can evaluate the determinant value of a 3 by 3 matrix. So we have to evaluate this one. So we know from the knowledge of the topic matrices, we all know that every value in the matrix has an index, which is the row number and the column number of the element. For example, this this element 1 has an index of 1 1. Suppose we are representing all these elements with the letter small a. So we will write that this is a 1 1. That is 1. Or suppose this one is what? This one is a 2 2. Or this one is what? This is a 3 1. So this is a 1 1 because this is an element of first row and first column. And this is a 2 2 because this is an element of second row and second column. And this is a 3 1. This is an element of third row and first column. So this is how we name elements. We have studied this in chapter matrices. So how to expand a determinant of order 3 by 3. Let's say we have a determinant of order 3 by 3 and this is the determinant a11, a12, a13, a21, a22, a23, a31, a32, a33. Let's call it a. Now, a 3 by 3 determinant can be expanded along any row or any column. What does that mean? Suppose I am expanding this determinant, expanding along R1. R1 means row 1. This is R1, this is R2, this is R3, this is C1, this is C2, this is C3. C means column, right? So we are expanding this determinant along R1. What does that mean? So if you are expanding this determinant along any row and we are expanding this along R1. So let's first write the element of R1, first element of R1, that is A11. Then you will write -1 to the power the sum of these indices 1 plus 1, right? Okay. Then you will leave the row of this element and column of this element. So this and this are left. So we are left with this 2 by 2 determinant. So we will write it here. A22, A23, A32, A33. Right? And now again, because we are expanding it along R1, so now we will take the second element of R1 plus A12 and we will repeat the same procedure. -1 to the power 1 plus 2, leave the row and column of this element and we are left with A21, A23, A21, A23, A31, A33, A31, A33 plus, now again repeat the same thing with the third element. So we will write A13, A13 and leave the row and column of this element. This is the row and this is the column of the element. A21, A22, A21, A22, A31, A32, right? A31, A32 and A13, A13 -1 to the power 1 plus 3. So you can choose any row or any column and you can apply this procedure to find the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix. Or after this, these are 2 by 2 determinants, so you will expand it as we have learned, this into this minus this into this, this into this minus this into this, this into this minus this into this, right? So we will see using this example that how we can find the value of a 3 by 3 determinant. Now let's write this determinant first. 1, 2, 4, -1, 3, 0, 4, 1, 0. Let's expand it along row 1. So let's first write the first element of row 1, that is 1, and the index of this is 1, 1. So we are left with 3, 0, 1, 0. 3, 0, 1, 0. Plus next element is 2. Index of 2 is 1, 2. So minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2. And 2 by 2 determinant. Leave this row and this column. Minus 1, 0, 4, 0. Minus 1, 0, 4, 0. And third one is 4, and index of 4 is 1, 3. So 4 into minus 1 to the power 1 plus 3. Leave this row and this column. Minus 1, 3, 4, 1. Minus 1, 3, 4, 1. Right? So now we will expand these 2 by 2 determinants. Let's expand these determinants. So this is 1, 3 into 0 is 0, 3 into 0, minus 1 into 0. This is minus 2, minus 1 into 0, minus 4 into 0, plus 4, minus 1 into 1, minus 4 into 3. So this becomes 0, this is 0, so this is 4. 4 into minus 1, minus 12, minus 52, minus 13 into 4, minus 52. Right? So this is how you can expand the determinant using any row or any column. If you expand this determinant using second column or third row or third column or second row, you will get the same answer, minus 52. So for shortcuts, you can directly remember that this will be minus 1 to the power 1 plus 1, and this is going to be positive, and this is going to be negative. This is positive, this is negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. So simply the diagonal elements have indices such that their sum is even. So this is going to come positive, and the other element, these are also diagonal elements now, and the other elements have index such that the sum of the indices is negative, is odd. So minus 1 to the power odd is going to come as negative. So without doing this step, you can directly put the sign plus, minus, plus, and if you are expanding it along second row, suppose, so minus, plus, minus, and so on. So this is how you can expand determinants, right? Okay, now let's discuss one question from NCERT. Find values of x for which this is equal to this. In matrices, if the two matrices were given equal, we just had to compare the corresponding values. If these were matrices, we would have said that x equal to 2, right? But these are determinants, and determinants are just written in the form of rows and columns, but they have a specific value which comes after expanding the determinant. So if we have to find the value of x, first we have to expand this determinant, which will be 3 into 1 minus x into x, and this one is 3 into 1 minus 4 into 2. So this is 3 से 3 कट गया है, minus x square equal to minus 8. X square is 8, or x is plus minus root of 8, which is 2 root 2, right? Next, if A is this, then show that, okay, this is, I have brought this question just to explain a very important property of determinants. First we will solve this question and then we will see what the property is. So let's first find the determinant value of A, because we need the determinant value of A in the question. So let's expand it along. Okay, try to expand the determinant along that row or column in which there are maximum numbers of zeros, because the elements of that row or column are written outside. So if the element is 0, then every whole thing becomes 0. So we don't have to solve. So let's expand it along first column. So for first column, first we will write 1 and we will leave the rows and columns, and we are left with 1, 2, 0 and 4. Now other two elements we don't have to find because they are 0 and they will make everything 0. So this will be the determinant, which is ये तो 1 हो गया, which is 4 minus 0, that is 4. So how easily we solve the determinant? So that is 4, right? Okay. What is 3a ka determinant? 3a determinant means this is a matrix, right? So if you multiply this matrix by 3 and then find the determinant, that will be the determinant value of 3a. And when we multiply a matrix by any number, that means that number has to be multiplied with all the elements of the matrix. So what is 3a? 3a is 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 6, 0, 0, 12. Okay, so now let's again find the determinant value of this. So we will expand this again along column 1 because these two elements are 0. So let's write 3a ka determinant. Let's write 3, leave this, and we are left with 3, 6, 0, 12, which is 3 into 12, 3 into 12 minus 6 into 0. So it is 3 into 36. 36 into 3 is 108. So we have to show that 3a is 27 times a. So 3a ka determinant is what? Determinant of 3a is 108 and determinant of a is 4. So what is 27 times the determinant of a? That is 27 times 4, and 27 times 4 is 108, right? Clear? Okay, so now we have proved this, but what is the property that I have to discuss? That's why I brought this question. The property is, if the order of the matrix whose determinant you are finding is n, generally we write the order like m into n or n into m, but rows and columns are equal. So you will just write n, which means number of rows are n, number of columns are n. And because if you are finding the determinant, obviously it is a square matrix. So if the order is n and you are multiplying the matrix with a number k, so Ka, you don't have to do all this. You will simply use this property. So let's write it, property. It can be used directly. Property is Ka, determinant of Ka. K is a number that we have multiplied with the matrix, which was 3 in this case, is equal to k raised to power n into determinant of A, where n is the order of the matrix. For example, suppose we did not know this, right? So what we will do, 3a, we will not directly find. Okay. We will not directly find the value of 3a. We will just use this property. So 3a is simply 3 raised to power the order, which is 3 into a, right? So 3 into 3 is 27, and determinant value of A was 4. So it is simply 108. Right? So this is a very important property. Always remember this property because you can get an MCQ or assertion reason type or any small question based on this property. Applications of determinants. Okay, why we are studying the determinants? There are many applications of determinants in mathematics, and we will study few of those applications. First one is to find the area of a triangle. Area of a triangle. Suppose we have a triangle with vertices x1 y1, x1 y1, x2 y2 and x3 y3. So the area of this is half into this determinant. x1 y1 1, x2 y2 1, x3 y3 1. Right? So you will just write, take if three vertices are given, take any vertex as x1 y1, any as x2 y2, any one as x3 y3, and put the values in this determinant and expand this determinant, multiply that with half, you will get the area of the triangle. Let's expand it. So we will get half x1 into, leave this one, x2 y3, x2 y3 minus x3 y2, and this one is taken negative, so y1 into, leave this and this, x2 minus x3, x2 minus x3, and third one is taken as positive, which is 1, so leave this one and this one, and okay, x2, oh sorry, my mistake, wait. Okay, take x1, half x1, leave this row and this column, now it is y2 minus y3, y2 minus y3 minus y1, leave this row and this column, it is x2 minus x3 plus 1, x2 y3 minus x2 y3, just wait a sec. x2 y3 minus x3 y2. If we rearrange this, x1 y2 minus x1 y3 minus y1 x2 plus y1 x3 plus x2 y3 minus x3 y2, and let's take x1 common. x1 common आ गया कहां से? Okay, these two had x1 common, so we should not have multiplied this, plus x2 common. x2 common कहां है? y3 minus y1, plus take x3 common. x3 is y1 minus y2, y1 minus y2. And this is the same formula that you have studied in class 10th. We have studied this formula in class 10th directly. We did not have proof for this, but this is the same thing that you will get after expanding this determinant. So you can find the area of the triangle using determinant also. So that is the first application of the determinants. Okay, leave it here. So what is the second application? Second application is related to the first one, which is to find the equation of a line. Equation of a line. Now if you have to show that 3 points are collinear, then what you will do? What you did in class 10. If it is given that if 3 points are given and we have to show that these 3 points are collinear, so what we will do, we will simply put those 3 points in this formula and the answer will be 0, because if 3 points are collinear, triangle cannot be formed using those 3 points. Or we can say that the area of the triangle formed by 3 collinear points is 0. What are collinear points? Collinear points are the points which lie on straight line. Suppose we have a straight line and there are three points which are lying on it. 1, 2 and 3. This point is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. This is x3, y3. A, B, C. And these 3 points are collinear. These 3 points are collinear. So, since these 3 points are collinear, so a triangle cannot be formed using these 3 points, or we can say that the area of the triangle is 0. So, if you have to prove the 3 points are collinear, just put these 3 points in this formula and you will get the answer 0. So, if 2 points are given and we have to find the equation of a line passing through the 2 points. Suppose this is a line and 2 points are given on this line. One is x1, y1 and one is x2, y2. In straight lines chapter in class 11th, you have studied that the equation of a line passing through 2 points is y minus y1 x into slope equal to slope y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1, right? This is the equation we all know. But using determinants, how we can find the equation of a line which is passing through 2 points? We can find the equation using the concept of collinearity. Now let's take another point on this line, x comma y. X comma y is the point in terms of which this equation will come, because the equation will be in terms of x comma y, and x comma y is a general point which lies on this line, and every value of the point which is lying on this line will satisfy the equation. So we have to find an equation in terms of x and y, which means all these 3 points are now collinear. So we will just put these points in this and put that equal to 0. So it is x, y1, x1, y1, 1, x2, y2, 1, and we will put that equal to 0. So this half, the 2 will go on that side and that also becomes 0. So this is the equation of the line. So this determinant can be expanded to form the equation of a line which is passing through x1, y1 and x2, y2. Okay, so let's solve few questions from NCERT textbook based on the applications of determinant. find the values of k if the area of triangle is 4 square units and the vertices are this. Now the area is given, area is 4 square units. Okay, there is a triangle whose vertices are this and its area is 4 square units and we have to find the value of k. Now let's put this in the formula of, okay, we will do this using determinant method. So let's write a determinant showing the area of the triangle. So it is k 0 1 4 0 1 0 2 1. Right? No, it is not 0, it is 4. So area is given as 4. Area is given as 4. So this 2 is multiplied there and this is mod of, whenever we find area, we use mod. Mod means this area can only be positive, right? Because mod means what? When something is written in mod, you just remove the negative sign if it is negative and you take it as it is if it is positive. And we use mod when we are finding the area because area cannot be negative. But since we are just solving these values, so answer can be negative, but we cannot take that as negative. So we have to put the mod. Even if the answer inside the mod is negative, we will take that as positive because we are finding the area. So mod k into, we will expand the determinant using, okay, using first row we can expand it because we have 1 0, and if we expand it using the first column, even then we have 1 0. So more or less एक ही बात है. So we will expand this using first row. 0 into 1 minus 2 into 1 minus 0, अंदर कुछ भी हो लिख ही देते हैं एक बार. 4 into 1 minus 0 into 1 पूरा 0 ही होगा, plus, and the third one is 1, 4 into 8 minus 0, 2 into 4 into 2, sorry, equal to 4. So this is 0 minus 2, this whole is 0, and this is plus 8 equal to 4. So let's remove the mod from this side, and when the mod is removed and the mod goes towards the other side, it becomes plus minus, because if inside the mod this is 4 after solving, so it can be positive 4 or it can be negative 4, right? Because if the answer of this mod is 4, which means either this was minus 4 mod or this was plus 4 mod. So if we are removing the mod, we have to write plus minus on the other side. So minus 2k equal to, now let's take the positive value first. Let's taking the positive value. We got minus 2k is 4 minus 8, which is minus 4, which gives k as 2. So k, the possible value of k could be 2. Okay. Taking the negative value, now let's take the negative value. Minus 2k plus 8 equal to minus 4. So minus 2k equal to minus 4 minus 8 minus 12 minus 2k. So another value of k could be 6. Even if k is 6 or k is 2, we will get the area of the triangle as 4 square units, right? Okay. Now let's solve the other one. Half determinant, minus 2 0 1 0 4 1, 0, k, 1, and that is 4. So this is very easy. We can expand this determinant along the first column because we have 2 zeros there. So let's expand it along the first. Okay, there was a mistake in this one, right? We removed this half. We should have taken it as 8. This is 8 and not 4. 8 plus minus 8, and this is plus 8, so it is 0. So value of k in first case should be 0, and this is taking the negative value, so it is minus 8. So minus 8 is minus 16, which gives k as 8. Okay, so first multiply this 2 over there, so it becomes 8 on the other side, and this is minus 2, 4 minus k equal to plus minus 8. Taking the positive value, minus 8 plus 2k equal to 8. 2k is 16, k is 8, or taking the negative value, minus 2 into 4 minus k equal to minus 8. 4 minus k is 4, k is 0. So both the parts have the same answer, right? Next. Find the equation of the line joining this and this using determinant. So we have to find the equation of this line. Let's make this determinant. This is, first we will write x, y, then 1. Then first point is 1, 2, 1. And the second point is 3, 6, 1 equal to 0. X into 2 minus 6 minus y into, एक मिनट, x 2 into 6, ठीक है, 1 minus 3 plus 1, 6 minus 6 equal to 0. So it is x into minus 4 minus y into minus 2 plus 0 equal to 0. So minus 4x plus 2y equal to 0, or minus 4x equal to minus 2y, or 2x equal to y. This is the equation of the required line. Minors and cofactors. Okay, what are minors and cofactors of a determinant? Let's write a determinant. A11 suppose this is a determinant, so it has 9 elements, right? But it is 3 by 3 determinant, so it has 9 elements. So every element has its own minor and every element has its own cofactor. What is minor? Suppose we have to find the minor of first element. Minors are represented by capital M. So M11 is simply the determinant which is left after leaving the row and column of this element. So determinant minor, sorry, not the determinant, minor of first A11 is M11, which is leave this and this determinant A22, A23, A31 and A33. This will be called the minor of the first element, that is A11. So we will just solve it. A22 into A33 minus A23 into A31. So that is the minor, right? Let's take one more example. Let's find the minor of A23. So minor of A23 is M23. Just leave the row and column of A23. So A11, A12, A31, A32, A31, A32. So it is A11 into A32 minus A12 into A31. So this is how you can find minors. There will be 9 minors since there are 9 elements. So these are the minors. So what are cofactors? Now let's discuss about the cofactors. There is one small difference between the minor and the cofactor, and that is we will just multiply minus 1 to the power the sum of indices to find the cofactor of an element. For example, if we have to find the cofactor of 1, 1, which is simply, suppose you are representing this with capital A. Obviously, if you are representing this with capital A, then the elements are represented by small a. That is the notation of the matrix. So we should have written it like this, because minors and cofactors are properties of matrices. So this is a matrix, right? So cofactor is represented by the same alphabet, capital, in capital, right? So A11 is the cofactor of first element. You will write minus 1 to the power 1 plus 1 and minor of this. And minor of this is that. So it is simply minus 1 to the power 1 plus 1. So it is positive. So minor के बराबर ही आ गया ना कोफैक्टर. A22, A33 minus A23 into A31. So now let's find the cofactor of 2, 3. So that is A23, which is minus 1 to the power 2 plus 3 into minor of 2, 3. And minor of 2, 3 is this. We just have to multiply this with negative sign. So this becomes negative, that becomes positive. So we will write it first. A12 into A31 minus A11 into A32. So there will be 9 minors and 9 cofactors for a 3 by 3 matrix. So we can simply say that the determinant value is what? Determinant value of this is A11 into what? Into minus 1 to the power 1 plus 1 into A22, A23, A32, A33. Right, plus A12 minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2, A21, 2, 3, 3, 1, A21, A23, A31, A33 plus A13 minus 1 to the power 1 plus 3, A21, A22, A31, A32. But this is what? We can write it as, okay, Determinant A is also written as DETA, determinant A, right? So we can write it like this also. So determinant A is simply what? This is A11 into this whole is what? This whole is simply the cofactor of A11, right? This whole is what? This is the cofactor of A11. So it is capital A11 plus A12 into cofactor of this plus A13 into cofactor of this. So to find the determinant, we can say that simply we have to multiply each and element with its cofactor and we have to add all of them together. So that is how we can find the determinant. We calculated the determinant using this technique, but we did not know that these things are called minors and cofactors. But now we know that these are called cofactors, so we can simply say that just multiply every element of any row or column with its cofactor and add all of them together. You will get the determinant value of the matrix. So minors and cofactors of those elements are equal whose indices, sum of whose indices is even, because then you will get -1 to the power an even number which is +1. So minors and cofactors of the elements which are present at the diagonal are equal. This and this will have minors and cofactors equal, and the rest elements will have minors and cofactors equal in value but opposite in sign. Adjoint and inverse. Okay, there are two very important terms for a matrix which are called adjoint and inverse. Adjoint and inverse are very important for a matrix because there are many applications. So first we will find how we can find the adjoint or inverse of a matrix and what is the use of that. So adjoint A is simply a matrix which is, suppose we have a matrix A. First let's write, we have a matrix A. Suppose we have a 2 by 2 matrix A, 1 1, A1 2, A2 1, A2 2. So adjoint of this matrix, adjoint of A is simply a matrix which is formed by the cofactors of this matrix. Ka transpose. Transpose we all know, we just have to interchange the values of the elements of rows and columns. So if we are taking the transpose of this matrix, first row becomes first column. A11, A12, A21, A22. So that is adjoint, right? For example, we have to find the adjoint of this one. So let's find the cofactors of the elements first. What is the cofactor of this element? Cofactor के लिए just write -1 to the power 1 plus 1 and leave this and this. So this is 4. So cofactor is simply 4. And cofactor of 1 2 -1 to the power 1 plus 2, leave this row and this column and you will get 1. So it is -1. And cofactor of 2 1, -1 to the power 1 plus 2, leave this row, this column and you will get 3. So this is -3. And cofactor of 2 2, -1 to the power 2 plus 2, leave this this row and this column and you will get 2. So it is 2. Now if we make a matrix using the cofactors and we take the transpose of that matrix, so A11 1 2, so 4 -1 minus 3 and 2, and we will take the transpose of this, so it is 4 minus 1 minus 3 and 2. This is called the adjoint of A. This is called the adjoint of A. So for 2 by 2 matrix, it is very easy to take the adjoint. We simply have to, do what? Let's compare these two. The positions of these two are interchanged. 4 is here and 2 is now here, and signs of these two are interchanged. So just interchange the positions of main body diagonal elements and just change the signs of the other diagonal elements, and you can directly find the adjoint of the 2 by 2 matrix. That is a shortcut. Now let's find the adjoint of a 3 by 3 matrix. We have not discussed yet what is the use of finding the adjoint. That we will discuss shortly. Okay, if we have to find the adjoint of this, we have to find 9 cofactors first. Let's find them. A11. I'm finding it using shortcut method. We will just write positive for this, negative for this, positive for this. For main body diagonal elements, we are writing positive, and the other elements in front of other elements we are writing negative. So we just write it positive, leave this one and this one, 3 into 1 minus 0, so it is 3. And A12, first write negative, this row and this column छोड़ दो, 2 minus already है, minus 10, that is plus 10, so it is minus 12. A13, sorry, positive, leave this and this, 0, minus plus 6. A31, sorry, A21, negative, ये और ये, minus 1, 0, so it is 1. A22, पॉजिटिव लिख लिया, ये और ये छोड़ दिया, 1 minus 4, that is 5. A23, नेगेटिव लिख लिया, 0 minus 2, so that is 2. A31, it is positive, so minus 5 minus 6, minus 11. A32, नेगेटिव लिख लिया, 5 minus 4, 1. And A33, पॉजिटिव लिख लिया, 3 plus 2, that is 5, right? So adjoint A is simply the transpose of the matrix formed by its cofactors 3 minus 12, 6, 1, 5, 2, minus 11, minus 1, 5. Transpose, which is 3 minus 12, 6, 1, 5, 2, minus 11, minus 1, 5. And this is the adjoint of 3 by 3 matrix, which is given here, right? So this is how you can find the adjoint. But why we are finding the adjoint? So adjoint has many applications to find many other things in matrices and determinants. So let's see some theorems. if A be any given square matrix of order n, A is any square matrix of order n, then A into adjoint A is adjoint A into A. That is always determinant into I, where I is the identity matrix. What is the meaning of this? Let's understand this theorem using a 2 by 2 matrix. We have a 2 by 2 matrix, 2, 1, 3, 4. Right? So what is the adjoint? Adjoint of A is simply, abhi shortcut bataya tha, we will use that shortcut to find the adjoint. We just have to switch the positions of these two elements and change the signs of these two elements. So this is the adjoint of A. Now let's multiply A with its adjoint. A is this matrix 2, 1, 3, 4, and multiply this with the adjoint 4, minus 1, minus 3, 2. So this is 2 by 2, this is 2 by 2, so this is a matrix of order 2 by 2, 2 into 4, that is 8, minus 3 will be the first element, minus 2 plus 2 will be the second element, 3 into 4, 12, 4 into minus 12, and minus 3 plus 8. This is the product of, this is what? This is A into adjoint A. A into adjoint A. This is A into adjoint A. Which is what? Which is 5, 0, 0, 5. Right? Which can be written as, if 5 is taken common, we can write it as 1, 0, 0, 1, which is an identity matrix. So we can write it as 5i. But what is I? Now let's find the determinant of this. Determinant value of A is 2 into 4 minus 3 into 1, which is 8 minus 3, which is 5. Right? 8 minus 3 is what? 8 minus 3 is 5. So now this 5 and this is also 5. So we can simply say that if you multiply a matrix with its adjoint A into adjoint A, you will get determinant value into the identity matrix that we got here. Right? And the order doesn't matter. If you multiply it in this order, adjoint A into A, still you will get A into I. Right? So this is a very important theorem, because using this theorem, we can find the inverse of a matrix. Inverse we have already studied in the matrices. If you do not know what is an inverse, so inverse works just like the reciprocal of a number. If you multiply a matrix with its inverse, you will get identity matrix. Just like you multiply a number with its reciprocal and you get 1. So if you multiply a matrix with its inverse, you will get the identity matrix. So there are many techniques to find the inverse of a matrix, and this is one of the best techniques. What we will do using this, we will just shift A on that side, so it becomes A inverse into I, and this mod A or the determinant A on this side, so this is a value which comes in the denominator on this side. Any matrix into I is the same matrix, so A inverse is simply this. A inverse is simply this. You just have to divide each and every element of the adjoint matrix with the determinant value and you will get the inverse. For example, inverse in this case is 1 upon 5 into the adjoint. What was adjoint? 4 minus 1 minus 3 2. 4 minus 1 minus 3 2. So A inverse is simply 4 by 5 minus 1 by 5 minus 3 by 5 and 2 by 5. Right? So this is how we can find the inverse of 2 by 2 matrix or 3 by 3 matrix. Let's find the adjoint and inverse of a 3 by 3 matrix. But okay, let's see some other theorems first and then we will find the adjoint and inverse of 3 by 3 matrices. If A and B are non-singular matrices of the same order, then AB and BA are also non-singular matrices of the same order. What is a non-singular matrix? Singular matrix पता हो तो non-singular पता होगी. Singular matrix क्या है? A is said to be singular if determinant A is 0. A is said to be singular if determinant A is 0. Any matrix whose determinant value is 0 is called singular, and if the determinant value of the matrix is not 0, it is called non-singular, right? Singular matrix. So if there are two matrices which are non-singular and they have same order like 2 by 2 and 2 by 2, and AB and BA are also non-singular. If two matrices are non-singular, then their product is also a non-singular matrix of the same order, right? Theorem 3. The determinant of the product of matrices is equal to product of their respective determinants. If you multiply two matrices and then find the determinant of that matrix, that is equivalent to the product of their individual determinants. And that is very simple to understand. Or we can take an example to prove this. Let's say we have a matrix 1 0 3 2 and there is another matrix B minus 2 3 0 4, let's say, right? So what is the product of A and B? That is AB, which is 1 into minus 2, बाकी 0 हो गया, 3 minus 6 and 3 9 plus 8 17. So what is the determinant value of this AB? Minus 34 minus 18, and that is minus 34 plus 18 minus 16, right? Determinant value of AB is minus 16, right? Now what is determinant value of A? Determinant value of A is 2 and determinant value of B is minus 8. So determinant A into determinant B is 2 into minus 8, that is minus 16, right? So this proves the property. So just keep in mind these three theorems. Theorem 4. A square matrix A is invertible only and only if A is non-singular. You can only find the inverse of a matrix if it is non-singular. In case of singular matrix, that is if the determinant value of the matrix is 0, you cannot find its inverse. because inverse is what? Inverse is simply 1 upon determinant value of A into adjoint A. Now, if A is singular, A is singular, determinant value of A is 0. If A is singular, then determinant value of A is 0, and you cannot divide anything by 0. So inverse does not exist, and if the inverse does not exist, inverse of a matrix does not exist, we call that the matrix is non-invertible. The matrix whose inverse can be calculated is called invertible matrix. So invertible matrices are those which are non-singular. If the matrix is singular, determinant value is 0, then you obviously cannot find the inverse of the matrix. So that is the theorem. Now let's find the inverse of each of the matrices. 2 by 2 matrix hai, 3 by 3 matrix hai. Let's first find the adjoint of, let's call it A. So adjoint A will be found using the shortcut method. Just switch the positions of these two and change the signs of these two. And determinant value of A is 6 minus 8, that is 14. Yeah. So inverse is 1 upon determinant A into adjoint A. So 1 upon 14 into 3, 2, minus 4, 2. So it is 3 by 14 into 2 by 14, that is 1 by 7, minus 4 by 14, minus 2 by 7, and 2 by 14, that is 1 by 7. That is the inverse. Okay, now let's find the inverse of this. So for that we have to find the adjoint, and for that we have to find the cofactors. A11 is, this is positive, this is negative, this is positive, है ना, directly कर लेते हैं. So A11 is positive, leave this and this, 2 into 5, that is 10. A12 negative, leave this and this, 0. Negative 0 is also negative, so it is 0. A13, leave this and this, then again it is 0. A21, negative, leave this and this, and this and this, right? So 10. 5 into 2, 10, 3 into 0 is 0, so it is 10. A22, this and this, 5. A23, leave this and this, so this is also 5. A22 is 5 and this is 0. A31, positive, 8 minus 6, 2. A32, negative 4. And A33, positive 2. So adjoint A is the reciprocal of, let's make this matrix using the cofactors 10, 0, 0, 10, 0, 0, minus 10, 5, 0, minus 10, 5, 0, 2 minus 4, 2. 2 minus 4 2 का ट्रांसपोज. So adjoint A is the transpose of this, which is 10 0 0 minus 10 5 0 2 minus 4 2, right? That is the adjoint. Now let's find the determinant. So determinant is simply the product of the element into corresponding cofactor. So 1 into 10 plus 2 into 0 plus 3 into 0, that is determinant is 10. So inverse is simply divide each and every element by 10. So 10 divided by 10 is 1, minus 10 divided by 10 is minus 1, 2 divided by 10 is 1 by 5, 0 by 10 is 0, 5 by 10 is 1 by 2, minus 4 by 10 is minus 2 by 5, 0 0 1 by 5. So that is the inverse of this matrix. Now okay, there are other methods also to find the inverse. For example, in this particular question from NCERT textbook, it is given that that particular matrix is satisfying this equation and hence find A inverse. So if it is written that hence find A inverse, which means we don't have to find the inverse using the usual method that we have just learned. We have to find the inverse using the data which is given in the question. So first we have to show that this. So first find the square of A. Square of A is simply multiply A by A. Three into 3, 9 minus 1, 3 plus 2, minus 3 minus 2, minus 1 plus 2. 8, 5 minus 5 and 1. That is the square of A. Now let's find that value, which is A square minus 5A plus 7I, and we have to show that it is equal to a null matrix, which means all the elements are going to come 0 of the matrix. So obtained. So let's put these values. A square is 8, 5 minus 5 and 1 minus 5 into A. So this is 15, this is 15, this is 5, this is minus 5 and this is 10. Minus 7I, I is the identity matrix, plus 7I. So it is 7 0 0 7. So it is 8 minus 15 plus 7, 8 minus 15 plus 7, 5 minus 5 plus 0, 5 minus 5 plus 0, minus 5 plus 5 plus 0, minus 5 plus 5 plus 0, 1 minus 10 plus 7. Okay, let me check this value again. Minus 1 plus 2 into 2, 4. Okay, it was 4. Okay, 3 minus 10 plus 7. 3 minus 10 plus 7. So 8 minus 15 is minus 7. Minus 7 plus 7 is 0. This is also 0. This is also 0. And this one is also 0. So we have proved that this is a null matrix. Hence find A inverse. Now we have to find A inverse using this equation only. So if we multiply each and every term by A inverse, let's multiply everything by A inverse on both the sides. And on this side we have A inverse, we have null matrix. So if we multiply that with A inverse, so it all becomes null matrix. So this is what? This is A. This is minus 5i A into A inverse and 7 times A inverse. So A inverse simply 7 times A inverse is simply null matrix minus A plus 5i, or A inverse is null matrix minus A plus 5i whole divided by 7. So you just have to find this matrix and you divide that matrix, each and every element of that matrix, by 7, and that will be the inverse of A. So let's find 1 upon 7 null matrix 0 0 0 0 minus A 3 1 minus 2 1 3 1 minus 1 2 sorry minus 1 2 plus 5 0 0 5. One by 7, and this is minus 3 minus 1 minus 3 minus 1 plus 1 minus 2 plus 5 0 0 5. So the final result is, let's write it here. Final result is minus 3 plus 5 is 2. Minus 3 plus 5 is 2. Minus 1 0 is minus 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. Minus, this is 3. So it is 2 by 7 minus 1 by 7, 1 by 7, 3 by 7. So that is the inverse of this. So you will get this type of questions also. So इनको direct inverse वाले तरीके से you cannot solve. You have to solve this using the data which is given in the question like this. आगे बढ़. Solutions of simultaneous linear equations. Now, one of the most important topics of this chapter is this, and one of the most important applications of determinants is to find the solutions of simultaneous linear equations. You have already understood some methods of finding the solutions of simultaneous linear equations in class 10th, like the substitution method, like the elimination method, the cross multiplication method, the graphical method. But now there is another method. We will find the solutions of linear equations using determinants and matrices. Let's say we have set of 3 equations, a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to let's call it alpha, and a2x plus b2y plus c2z, let's call it beta, and a3x plus b3y plus C3Z is gamma. Okay, so now we have to solve these three equations. I am explaining the method for three equations. For a set of three equations, you can apply this method to a set of two equations also, like you used to solve in class 10th linear equations. So let's make a matrix. Using the equations, you have to make these three matrices. First matrix is a 3 by 3 matrix in which you will write the coefficients of all these equations: A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. Right? Then you will make another equation, capital X, which is X, Y, Z, and you will make another equation, another matrix, sorry, capital B. In one column you will write alpha, beta and gamma. So this set can be written like this: A X equal to B, because if you write it like this, A AX equal to B, now this is a 3 by 3 matrix, this is a 3 by 1 matrix, and this is also a 3 by 1 matrix. And we know that if we multiply these two matrices, ये multiply हो सकती हैं because these two numbers are same, so we will get a matrix of order 3 by 1, and that matrix looks something like this. That matrix looks something like this, this and this, and that is equal to this and this. So okay, not in this form. Wait. Okay, so if we write it like this, first understand one thing, then we will move ahead. If we write it like this, if we multiply it, we will get that, because first element we will get a matrix of, as we have written, a matrix of order 3 by 1, and that matrix will be this one. This will be the first element, this will be the second element, this will be the third element, because first element will be A1x plus B1y plus C1z, second is A2x plus B2y plus C2z, third is A3x plus B3y plus C3z, right? So, and that equal to this. So if two matrices are equal, their corresponding elements are equal, right? If two matrices are equal, their corresponding elements are equal. So first one will be equal to this, second equal to beta, third equal to gamma. So this system of equations can be written in the matrix form like this. Okay. Now if you take this matrix on the other side, so you will get X equal to A inverse B. So A inverse is also a matrix of 3 by 3 order, and B is 3 by 1. So if you multiply this, you will get a matrix of order 3 by 1. So here you have X matrix, which is XYZ, and here you will get a matrix having three values like this. So this first value will be the value of X, second value will be value of Y, and third value will be the value of Z. Right? Let's take some examples, but first let us see what are the various cases that we can have. If A is a non-singular matrix, everything depends on A, because we have to use the inverse of A to solve the equations. But if it is a non-singular matrix, then inverse exists, so we can find a unique solution. If we can find a solution of a system of equations, this you have studied in class 10th also, if we can find the solution of the system of equations, whether a unique solution, whether infinite number of solutions, then the system is called consistent. And if we cannot find the based on some cases, if we cannot find the solution to a system of equations, then that system is called inconsistent. So if the matrix is non-singular, obviously you can find the solution, then the system is the consistent. But case 2, if it is a singular matrix, then the determinant value is 0, and obviously in that case you cannot find inverse, and this whole solution is based on the value of inverse. But now you cannot find the inverse if the matrix is singular, but still you can find the adjoint, because adjoint mein to you don't have to divide it by the determinant value of A. So if if the matrix is singular and determinant value of A is 0, just find adjoint A into B, and if adjoint A into B is not a null matrix, then the solution does not exist, and this is the inconsistent. And if adjoint A into B is a null matrix, then the system may be either consistent or inconsistent. And if the system is consistent, in this case it can have infinite solutions, and to find those solutions you will just put z equal to k and find the values of x and y in terms of k, and for every value of k you will get one set of solutions, right? So this is how we have to proceed. We will first apply this to a very small system of two equations. Let's first make this matrix A, which is the coefficients 2, 5, 3, 2. And x is, obviously we have only two variables, so x, y, and b is 1, 7. So ax is equal to b, so x is equal to A inverse B. Now let's find A inverse. A inverse is adjoint A divided by the determinant value of A, that is A inverse. So what is the determinant value of A? Determinant value of A is 2 into 2, 4, minus 3 into 5, 15, which is minus 11. So 1 upon minus 11 into adjoint A. What was it? Adjoint A. Let's find the adjoint A using the shortcut. Just make a switch between these two values. They are equal, so फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. And change the signs of these two, minus 5 and minus 3. So the inverse of A is 2 by minus 11, 5 by 11, 3 by 11, minus 2 by 11. Now let's multiply that with B. So A inverse minus 2 by 11 into 5 by 11 into 3 by 11 into minus 2 by 11 into B. B is 1 into 1 and 7. So this is minus 2 by 11 into 1 plus 5 by 11 into 7, 3 by 11 into 1 plus minus हो गया वो 2 by 11 into 7. Minus 2 plus 35 by 11 and 3 minus 14 by 11, which is 33 by 11 upon minus 11 by 11. So it is 3 minus 1. And what was this? X. So x was what? X and y. So the value of x is 3 and the value of y is minus 1. So this is how you can solve the equation. Now let's see how we can solve a set of 3 equations using this method. Now let's first write the matrix A, which is 3 minus 2, 3, 2, 1, minus 1, 4, minus 3, 2, and x and B Ax equal to B. So x is A inverse into B. So to find A inverse, we have to find the cofactors of the elements. So what is the cofactor of 3? Positive. Leave this and this. So it is 2 minus 3, that is minus 1. A 1, 2, negative. Leave this and this. 4 minus 4, that is 4. So minus 8. A1, 3. Positive. Leave this and this. Minus 6 minus 4. Minus 10. A2, 1. Negative. Leave this and this. So it is minus 4 minus plus 9. Minus 4 plus 9. Minus 4 plus 9, that is minus 5 हो गया ना overall. Minus 5. A2, 2. A2, 2 is positive. Leave this and this. So this is 6 minus 12. Minus 6. Yes. A 2, 3. Negative. Negative 2, 3. 2, 3. Negative. Minus 9 plus 8. Minus 9 plus 8, which is 1. A 3, 1. Positive. Leave this and this. So this is 2 minus 3. That is minus 1, right? 2 minus 3, that is minus 1. A3, 2. Negative. Leave this and this. Minus 3, minus 6. A3, 3. Positive. A3, 3. Positive. 3 plus 4. 7. Okay. Now, let's find the inverse. A inverse is 1 upon mod A into adjoint A. A inverse is 1 upon determinant A into adjoint A. What is determinant A? Element 3 into cofactor of 3, which is minus 1, plus element minus 2 into cofactor of minus 2, which is minus 8, plus element 3 into cofactor of 3, 1 3 is minus 10. So the determinant value is minus 3 plus 16 minus 30. Determinant value is minus 33 plus 16. Okay, minus 17. Okay. So what is adjoint A? Now let's write the inverse directly. 1 upon minus 17 into minus 1 minus 8 minus 10 minus 1 minus 8 minus 10 minus 5 minus 6, all were negative, minus 5 minus 6 1 minus 5 minus 6 1 minus 3 9 7 minus 3 9 7 transpose. So inverse is 1 upon minus 17 minus 1 minus 8 minus 10 minus 5 minus 6 1 minus 3 9 7 1 by 17 5 by 17 1 by 17 8 by 17 6 by 17 9 by minus 17 10 by 17 1 by minus 17 and minus 7 by 17. So this is what? This is A inverse. Now let's multiply this A inverse with B, which is 814. So A inverse one by 17, 5 by 17, 1 by 17, 8 by 17, 6 by 17, 9 minus 9 by 17, 10 by 17, minus 1 by 17 and minus 7 by 17 into B, which is 814. So what is the answer? 8 by 17, 8 by 17 plus 5 by 17 plus 4 by 17, which is 8 plus 5 13 plus 4 17 by 17. 64 by 17 plus 6 by 17 plus minus 36 by 17, 36 by 17, 80 by 17, 80 by 17 minus 1 by 17, minus 34 by minus 28 by 17. Okay, so what is the result? This will be 8 plus 5 13, 17 by 17. This will be 60, 74 minus 36, 70 minus 36, 74 by 17, 74 by 17. This is 80 minus 29, that is 51 by 17. So this is 1, 2 and 3, and we know this is equal to what? This matrix is equal to X, Y and Z. So therefore x is 1, y is 2, and z is 3. Right? So this is how you can solve the simultaneous linear equations and you can find the solutions. So both these sets were consistent equations. So let's see one more set. So let's see this. If we make this matrix 1, 3, 2 and 6, so we can find the determinant value, which is 1 into 6 minus 2 into 3. 1 into 6 is 6, 2 into 3 is 6. So determinant value is 0. So if determinant is 0, we will say that A is a singular matrix okay. So we cannot find the inverse, but now let's find adjoint A into A. Adjoint A into A. So adjoint A into A is what? What is adjoint A? Adjoint A is simply just change these two values, so 6 and 1, and change the signs of these two. Adjoint A into A is what? 1, 3, 2, 6. So it is 6 minus 3 into 2, 6. 18 minus 18, minus 2 plus 2, and minus 6 plus 6. So all these elements are equal to 0. That means adjoint A into adjoint A, or adjoint A into A, adjoint A into A is null matrix, right? So this system has infinite solutions. So to find the infinite solutions, let's put x equal to k. So if we put x equal to k, we can choose any of the equations, k plus 3y equal to 5, or we can find the value of y in terms of k, which is this. So the solution is k comma 5 minus k by 3. So the solutions can be this. But now if you put x equal to k in the second equation, what you will get? You will get the value of y as what? Value of y as 6y equal to 8 minus 2k, or y equal to 8 minus 2k divided by 6. So it is, if we take 2 common, it is 4 minus k divided by 3, which is not equal to this. If these two values of y were equal, we could have said that this set of equations has infinite solutions. But this does not have infinite solutions. So it is an inconsistent system which cannot be solved, right? So what we wrote? In the rules, we wrote that if adjoint A into A is equal to 0, the system can be consistent or inconsistent, and if it is consistent, it will have infinite solutions. But here the system is inconsistent because the value of y in both the equations, when we are trying to find it in terms of k, is different. So this system is simply inconsistent, right? So these were all the concepts of chapter 4, determinants, and we have also discussed the important NCERT questions. Now you go and solve all the exercises of this chapter. I'll meet you in the next lecture. Till then, all the best.